Hello and welcome to another commentary by Denethia. This will be a mirror matchup, Protoss and Terran on Lost Temple here. Deco spawning as the purple Protoss. Myself as Emily spawning as the light blue or teal Terran. Scone spawning as the red Protoss. And Brian Ucky spawning as the blue Terran. You can see here that Brian Ucky actually has a waypoint set out here. That's rather interesting. Most players would set it back to their mineral patch. I'm not sure why he's actually got that. Maybe it was just a slip up right there. Looking over at my base, I'm starting to wall off with a supply depot. Deco setting up his first pylon, and Scone's already got his up and running. Looks like Brian Ucky is actually going for a natural expansion over here, and if we don't scout this right away, he'll get a very big economic advantage over us and might be able to steamroll us in the mid game. But it looks like Deco's probe is actually heading over to his base right now. We both send out early scouts just to spot this exact kind of thing, and hopefully he will be able to spot this natural expansion going up. And he does. The natural expansion has been found. We know exactly what's happening. We know we need to put a ton of pressure on that expansion and the Terran player in general, as he has nothing to respond to our attacks with. It looks like Scone is getting up his gateway, getting a forge possibly for early upgrades or just cannons, and getting an early gas. And it looks like he has used Chrono Boost on his gateway to get out that first Zealot as fast as possible. Looking into my base now, I have my gas up, only one SCV mining from it, and my mineral patches are relatively nicely saturated there. Also having walled off in this particular fashion here, so my marines can clump in here, not having to run either side of a barracks, which is if you put the barracks right in the middle of two supply depots. I found that doesn't work quite as well. And it seems now we've got the first Zealot and the first Marine moving across the map here, trying to put as much pressure onto this natural expansion as we possibly can. Even the probe getting in on the action, as you can see there. This Zealot kind of going to come up and take out this SCV, no worries whatsoever. Putting down a ton of pressure, trying to take this down as fast as possible, but with just 2 units it's going down very slowly, so Deco decides to instead go for the SCVs, as that does more economic damage than just doing some HP damage to this command center. My second Marine here coming into play, dodging all these SCVs and 2 Zealots here. And Deco's Zealot still doing more damage. That's 5 kills now on that 1 Zealot. And my Marines are going down to combined Marine and Zealot firepower. Another Zealot by Deco has moved in, running around that Marine and dodging all these 3 Zealots here. Moving right into the supply line, going to see if he can get another SCV kill, and he does manage to. That Zealot had 1 kill there, and excellent work by Deco. Looks like Scone is leaving a couple of Zealots here just as protection for Brian Ucky's natural expansion, and now possibly moving out across the map now that he sees that Brian Ucky has indeed a few Marines there to defend his base. Deco's 1 lone Zealot still sitting in the middle of the map should really go to that Xel'Naga watchtower there to get more a greater view of the battlefield at this point. And it looks like I have 2 Marines set up at the second Xel'Naga watchtower to watch out for any counterattacks by the Protoss. Looking in Deco's base now, he's setting up a robotics facility to possibly get out a quick Observer and Immortals. Also getting a Stargate up, as we all know he loves to go Void Rays, so that's probably exactly where he's going with that. And checking out my base, I've got 2 barracks here, 1 with reactor, 1 with tech lab, and setting up another barracks and another factory just to get out as many units as I possibly can. It looks like Scone is actually upgrading his shield upgrade for his units. Most people normally go for the ground weapons because shields do take full damage from all weapon types. I haven't actually played with getting that upgrade first, so let's see how that actually works out for him. Also noticing he's got 2 pylons and 2 photon cannons at the mineral line here just to protect from any harass, which I could possibly bring to the front using Reapers or possibly even Deco sending in DTs. More pylons coming up all over the place here, possibly getting ready to put photon cannons all around the ridge there. Also, he has got he's got 7, or is that 8? No, he's got 8 zealots there, which is quite a large force considering if you look at the army sizes. It looks like he actually has the largest army. Myself and Deco bringing our armies to the front here, getting ready for another strike into the Terran's base. I've got a couple of marauders, half a dozen marines, and the lone zealot there. Deco now getting sentries as well. Sentries as well. Now having an observer in the Brian Aki's base, we can see what he's up to. We know that he's only got one single barracks with a tech lab, trying to pump out as many marines as possible. Also setting up a bunker here because he knows an attack is impending. And it looks like Scone was trying to move out there, but we spotted it with the Zelnaga watchtower and trying to engage this very heavy zealot force here. But there's just not enough guys, and with the Terran with Brian Aki sending in his marines as well, my units are going to have to fall back to a comfortable position because there's just too many units here. And it looks like Scone is actually moving away, possibly going to duck down towards Deco's base, but no, as just setting up in front of the Zelnaga watchtower there to try and watch for any of our counterattacks. I am moving all the way back up to my cliff behind my wall in to make sure I do not get trapped in with all those zealots, because they will just rip my marines to shreds. Now got a tech lab on the factory there to pump out some tanks, as they are quite good against generally all units, and when I have siege mode that will also help us a great deal. Taking another look into Scone's base, Brian Aki's base right now, he's getting a ghost facility, so that is either just for EMP or possibly even for nukes. Setting up a bunker here on the ridge just for extra damage. He might possibly have wanted to set it up closer to the edge of that ridge, but that is really his prerogative there. We do have an observer in that base, so we can see exactly what he's got. We know he's only got a handful of marines and a bunker, possibly 2, filled with marines, which shouldn't be that much of a threat to us at this point. We can also see here that Scone is setting up his photon cannons below his ridge. That's a very interesting move, because if you set them up on this ridge, they have less range, because obviously he's a few hexes across here, but nothing can shoot up unless they have sight. I suspect it's a better idea to put them up on this ridge, but we'll see how this plays out. Moving across into Scone's base right now, he is still running off 2 gateways, building up a cybernetics core, possibly to get these extra tier 1.5, I suppose, units, the sentries and the stalkers. Having a look at the army size now, it seems that